Hi, everybody.
Welcome to More Than Money. I'm Mark Manila,
Stephen Balance.
and we're glad you're with us today as we go through and process and try to discuss everything financial from a biblical point of view.
Yep.
And we hope it's a blessing to you today.
Yeah.
A few quick announcements first. Coming soon. We just finalized the papers for the publishing of my new book.
Yeah.
Can't give the name out because it's supposed to be held top secret. Last time we gave the name out, somebody used it for something else.
Yeah.
So we're being very careful. But within the next 45 days, we hope that the book will be released. It'll be on Amazon. You'll be able to get it here. In fact, we're offering up to our listeners, if you'd like a free copy, all you have to do is contact us.
Yeah, you can get a hold of us several ways. You can call us at the office, 314-212-1405. One of the fun things that we now have, we have text, 314-384-8438, or just plain old email will work, contact@mtmministry.com.
There you go. Contact at mtmministry.com. That's the easiest way.
Yeah, probably.
For email and whatever. You know, for the name of our series starting today is How to BRI.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, right?
Yeah, especially if somebody doesn't know what BRI stands for.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about biblically responsible investing.
Mm-hmm.
So how to invest with biblical integrity is what this is all about. I know you've heard us talk about it. If you've been a follower of the show, or you've followed us on radio, or maybe you know us because of Integrity Investors, where we manage money for you, whatever it may be, you know that it is now possible to invest with biblical integrity.
Yeah.
And for some people, this was great news. They
Okay,
love the
yeah.
idea of being able to invest for their future, for retirement, for their financial needs, their desired future, and do so in a way that honors and glorifies God. And so they got excited about it. But for some, even though the excitement was there, it's like, yeah, but how?
Yeah.
You know, how to do that wasn't as clear.
Yeah.
You know, as clear as and as easy as the desire that they felt was leading them to. So today, we're going to start a short series, maybe 2-4 different broadcasts on how to BRI.
Yeah. And one of the things that I noticed, probably for me specifically, was once I was made aware that there was another option, there was almost a guilt.
Guilt?
For me.
Well, that's not our goal.
Oh, no.
Our goal isn't to guilt in it. You know, investing with biblical integrity can be an act of worship. It should be something joyful and peaceful. And that's what we want to bring into people's life, the peace that surpasses all understanding, only through Jesus Christ. And part of that comes, I believe, from being a good steward.
Yeah.
And you can be a good steward, even in your investments. And that's what we're going to talk about. So today we're going to give some rock solid, just some crystal clear direction on how to invest with biblical integrity.
Yeah. And in doing so, we mentioned, earlier when we were talking, it really comes down to one simple question.
It really
one
does.
overall question.
It does. It all starts with answering this one simple question. Who's going to manage your portfolio? Who's going to manage your investments?
Yeah. Is it you, or is it
Are you going to hire a manager? Yeah, there's only two it's a selection, it's a multiple choice, but there's only two choices. Yeah, are you going to manage your own portfolio, or are you going to hire somebody to do it? And by the way, both are valid. Both are very valid. You may have heard me say over the years that I believe anybody can manage money if they had the time, the knowledge, and the resources to do so.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that what I do anybody else couldn't do as far as manage money. And I've never met a manager who just blew me away as this incredibly genius person that could do something nobody else can do. Everybody has access to the same tools and the same knowledge and the same information, or most people do. There is inside information, some ugly stuff like that, but we won't go there. So it all starts with deciding for yourself, is it something you want to do, or is it something you want somebody to do for you? And like I said, both are valid, but depending on which one you choose will depend on the criteria that is necessary to make it as successful and maximize your returns and maximize your joy as much as possible. And we're going to cover both answers, by the way.
Okay,
because we probably have some listeners who want to manage it themselves and some who want to use professional management. So we're going to give the criteria for both in subsequent shows here in the next week or so. And hopefully this will help you to move forward with investing with biblical integrity.
Yeah.
So for some, by the way, this question isn't a hard one for them.
No, it's a split second decision.
Yes, some without a doubt prefer professional management.
Yeah.
You know,
you're one. I want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, a lot of people are that way, and it's okay. You know what? I remember, and let me tell a little story to illustrate this. When I was a young man and when I was a teenager, I loved working on cars. I loved getting under that hood, changing out carburetors, doing everything on a car. I just enjoyed it. I spent days upon days working on my 67 Vista Cruiser, you know, and my buddy's 65 Impala, and my brother's Chevelle. You know, we just love building these cars and working on them. Today, I don't do anything on a car. I take it to the dealer to take care of it for me. And the difference is that I wouldn't enjoy it, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
And by not having the time, I can't keep up on all the technology. I don't have the resources either. I don't have the computer interface now that is necessary to work on a car. So there's a lot of things that have changed. My life has caused me to make commitments to other things which keep me from doing something like working on a car.
Yeah.
And I guess really, I really don't want to anymore. I don't want to spend the time and energy to keep up with all the knowledge to do that. So it's perfectly valid not to. So for some people, it's real easy. No, let somebody who's a professional do this for me. And, you know, they have other things that are more important to them. Maybe their career, maybe their family, maybe, things they're committed to. And they don't like the emotional aspect. Some people just can't stand the emotional impact of managing money, the ups and downs, the different things. Or maybe they realize they personally don't have the knowledge to do it, or the time to gain the knowledge to know how the market works, or how to analyze stocks, or to find buys, or know when to sell or when to buy. You know, how to mitigate risk. This is a lot. There's a lot involved in doing it. You know, they also might not have the time, as we talked about, because of family, career, whatever. They might not have the resources for screening, for example. In biblical responsible investing, screening is very important. Screening for biblical values. Can you do it yourself? Possibly, but it'd take you all day, every day to do it, instead of subscribing to a service that costs money, which takes resources, you know. So there's analysis research, there's screening research, there's all sorts of stuff that you would need resource-wise. So some people just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And we're going to talk about why that's okay and how to find the right person to do it for you. It's not as simple as you think, but it's not very complicated. So next show, we'll actually talk about that.
Yeah.
But then there's some other people, they just love to do this kind of stuff.
Is it like you?
Yeah. They like managing their portfolios. Others prefer to do it themselves. They are comfortable with their investment knowledge, for example. Maybe they've studied it in school. Maybe the job they're at, like me, I manage money for a living. Maybe the job they're at, they have constant knowledge and resources that bring their intelligent quotient up on investing. Maybe they actually, as an aside, do it as a hobby, but they have the time to do it. And that's the next thing, is they have the time. You see, because it does take time. I say anybody can manage money that has the desire to, if you have the time, money, and resources, and disposition, which is another thing, and discipline. You know, a lot of people who want to manage money don't manage their own money because they realize they don't have the discipline to get up in the morning or sometime during the day and do the research they need to do and the analysis to mitigate risk and to do the things they need. So that all of a sudden they find out, oh, that stock I bought, it peaked and now it's turned around and I've lost the gains, and you know, there's all sorts of things like that. I think the disposition, the emotional level is really important too. I had a friend who was managing his own portfolio, and it almost drove him crazy. The fear and the greed overtook him, and he was making a lot of bad moves because of it. He wasn't emotionally able to get past the greed and the fear and have the discipline, a buy-sell discipline in place, a system in place, and he actually got very depressed. So the people who want to manage their own portfolio really need the emotional stability to be able to do so. You know, when you start seeing your retirement plan lose money and you're approaching retirement, do you panic, or do you have the peace that surpasses all understanding? You know, do you count it all joy as you face market trials of various degrees, that kind of things? And they also would have the resources. They'd have the knowledge bases, the access to the research and analysis that they need, the screening, and the money to pay for all these different things that they would need. So both are valid, both are real, and both. I think that if you lean one way or another, it doesn't matter. We're going to help you no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think next week what we'll do is we'll pick up with, if you decide you want to use a money manager, how to pick that money manager. What is the criteria you should be looking at to decide on whether to use a manager or not? You know, which managers you use, whether this person meets the proper criteria. Then the show after that, we'll sit down and talk about how to manage it yourself. So we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up to help you to realize how to manage money in a way that can be an act of worship, in a way that doesn't compromise your Christian value, in a way that may impact society in incredible ways just because you're doing good for others as you're doing good for yourself. You know, it's investing as an act of love, investing with biblical integrity.
And our plan is, in one of the upcoming shows for this series, we actually hope to do a live interview
with several resources that those who want to manage for themselves can use, and those who want to have managers will know to check with their manager to find out if these resources, if they're utilizing these resources. One of them is a screening resource that I believe is essential either way. So you're going to want to be here for that.
Yeah. So we're almost out of time. So if I could ask you one thing, if you could give them one piece of advice, one little tidbit to take away from everything today on how to BRI.
Yeah. You know what? It all starts with the heart. You know, some people say, you know, biblical responsible investing is about knowledge, it's about time, it's about resources, all the things we talk about. But it's really a heart issue. If you realize that your God, the God of all creation, created money and finances and investments as well as everything else, and he invented the rules and how money works, then you can have the peace knowing that you can invest with biblical integrity, not just for the eternal aspect of it, that heavenly, the glorifying God, but also for the temporal, because the God who created all things also created this, and he made you a steward. So he's giving you the tools not just to take care of yourself, but to take care of yourself financially in a way that glorifies him, and as such glorifies you.
Yeah. So
here's a tip: pray. Go before. Everybody laughs at that, but you know what? Prayer is so important. Pray about it. Pray, God, help me to understand how to glorify you in all I do, including my investments. And in doing so, I think you'll realize that life is
so much more
than money. God bless everyone.